I think the one thing that I have since thought about was when the court process started, perhaps during that period of shock and operating on adrenaline, I should have had a moment to sit down and perhaps picked up the phone and called Minister Khatebe and said, do we really need this? What is this? That's the only moment personally that I'm thinking that if it wasn't an adrenaline moment, I could have stopped that court process, because I think it opened a whole lot of risks that could explain what has happened now.
Had you done that, had you made that call to Minister Khatebe, what do you think would be happening today?
I think there probably would have been less of a public debate around this report and people being curious about what is in the report, because from our side we will recall that we've had versions of this report and we kept announcing to the public that we just continuously editing it. But the media also didn't at that stage feel the need to have our report. I mean, we kept talking about we have a report. I didn't get a sense that there was any media urgency to get the report. Instead, for example, the Mail and Guardian requested its own documents from the Minister for Public Works, who gave the Mail and Guardian the same documents that he gave to us, and the Mail and Guardian was happy to write its own story based on what it got from the Minister of Public Works. I think perhaps, again, I don't have a crystal ball to say for sure that's what created the curiosity that led to the leak. I'm just saying perhaps that's one of the things that could have been done differently. But regarding how I gave this report to the ministers, I can't think of a different way. Perhaps I should have then specified the circumstances under which they would share it with the officials. You heard Mr. Rampeti saying openly in this meeting that 2 senior officials disclosed to him the contents of this report. The cover page of the report does indicate that this report can't be shared with other parties except the person to whom it is directed. Historically, people have then written to me and say they're requesting to share it with their attorney or they're requesting to share it with their staff. In that particular case, it didn't happen. In my mind, I keep thinking that was the loophole. Perhaps I should have specified the conditions, but at that stage it didn't seem necessary.
Now, given what the newspaper group that leaked the one report has told you, is it something that you are going to take up with Minister Khatebe, for example, as the head of the security cluster?
I don't want to inspire a witch hunt. I hinted at something that has made my staff very uncomfortable around witch hunting. So I don't want to prescribe to them what to do. I think they have to do what they have to do. But going forward, I have to do what I have to do what is humanly possible to avoid a recurrence.
But let's talk about your staff. You seem to be ruling out completely a possibility that your staffers may have been responsible for the leak. Let me tell you why that's problematic for someone like me. For the same reason, I had a problem with the Deputy Secretary General of the ANC suggesting that the leak could have perhaps only come from you. I have a problem with you suggesting that it could not have come from your office. People are people. And what if one of your staffers may have been frustrated? They wanted this thing to come out for whatever reason and then decided to leak it. How could you rule that out completely?
On a balance of probabilities, it is least likely that the leak could have come from my staff, simply because there were many opportunities to do it and it wasn't done. And it was leaked at a time when, for us, there wasn't anything to gain.
But you don't think, just as you have reviewed the decision to show people a provisional report, that maybe you could say, henceforth, anyone found to have, or if we spot, if there's any leak, then we're going to take you to court and make an example?
If we have to take people to court, we've got to take the entire industry, because virtually every media house in print media has leaked one of our reports at this stage.
And your reluctance has nothing to do perhaps with the fact that the media has actually been very supportive of your office and was spoken glowingly of you, and now you wouldn't want to offend the media by taking us to court.
If you're saying the media has been glowing, the politicians have been contemptuous. But I've never pursued contempt proceedings against anyone.
The DA's